Hey, what's up everybody? Nick Smith here at the theaters. I'm getting ready to go see Ghostbusters Afterlife. This is going to be my very first ever Ghostbusters movie in theaters. Never seen a Ghostbusters movie in the theater before. I am extremely excited. Yeah, I'm going to be back with a review and hope you all stay tuned. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the chair. Ladies and gentlemen, you can hear the music playing in the background right now. You know exactly what movie I'm here to talk about tonight. You know I am here to talk about the brand new and improved... Okay, so this movie, Ghostbusters Afterlife, this in all honesty, I have been excited for ever since I seen the trailer for this movie almost like a year ago, or maybe almost 2 years ago. This movie would have came out in, I think, June in 2019 or in 2020, but because of the pandemic, we sadly didn't get it. But let me tell you all, this movie is fun. This movie is a very fun film. It is a dedicated project to Harold Ramis. So if you are a Harold Ramis fan or a Ghostbusters fan, I would strongly recommend that you go watch this movie in general, just on that alone, because this movie does feel like an homage to Harold Ramis. I cannot spell homage, but that's what this movie is. It is a strong homage to Harold Ramis, and it feels like it. It has the feeling of Egon Spengler. Egon Spengler is the heart and soul of this movie. I honestly think Harold Ramis would be proud. The heart and soul of the Ghostbusters. The one who wrote the scripts for Ghostbusters 1 and 2 did a great job playing Egon Spengler. Great character, great actor, great writer. May he rest in peace. So, in all honesty, this movie is actually kind of what I figured Ghostbusters would be like in the future. I always had this idea of if they were to make another Ghostbusters movie, it would either be a new crew, or it would maybe be like their children, or if they were teachers and it was their students, that they would find the tech and they would become the new Ghostbusters and being led by the Ghostbusters themselves. That was always like what I thought that they should have done. And they kind of go and run with that, and I honestly was very proud of this movie. I was like, holy crap, this movie is kind of exactly what I was thinking that it should be. And it was fun. It was great. The character of Phoebe, who she is a great character. Her brother, who is played by the guy who plays Richie in the remake of It, he's in this movie, the guy from Stranger Things. He does a good job in this movie, but I will honestly say that they kind of don't give him much to do. He's kind of overshadowed by Phoebe, and there's not that much of a character development except for Phoebe, and a little bit of the mom in this movie. I really kind of wish that they had done more with her, but she gets more character development later down the line. But Phoebe's a great character in this movie. I really just do wish that they had given more of her brother some stuff to do, instead of being like kind of like the kid who's like, man, there's no signal. But they actually do give him some stuff to do. I just wish that we kind of had more character development for him instead of him kind of just being there. So there's that. But another thing that's actually really good about this movie is, if any of you have ever seen the internet and like any of you have ever read any interviews, they had mentioned that if they were to make another Ghostbusters movie, they would have one of the Ghostbusters be a ghost in the movie and go on from there. And they run with that in this movie. Like I said, this movie is a very Egon-focused movie. And I'm trying, like, I'm not gonna spoil that much, but they run with those ideas. They had finally like, all right, look, so we have this idea. Let's run with that, and it fits perfectly well. There's some very cute moments with it, and it kind of tugs at your heartstrings a little bit, seeing the spirit of a Ghostbuster lead these kids into the future of ghostbusting. So we get to see new traps. We get to see Ecto-1 being brought back. We get to see these kids using a nuclear accelerator, an unlicensed nuclear accelerator, on a 12-year-old's back. We get to see that. We get to see them trying to bust. We get to see, like, these guys are, they're kids. So, you know, they're not able to handle the proton pack, but like you see eventually later on, they do an amazing job with it. I really enjoyed the writing in this movie. And the cameos in this movie, there are some cameos, and they do not feel forced. They actually feel subtle, because it's not like a, hi, I was in the Ghostbusters movie, alright, I'm gone now. It was nothing like that. The cameos made sense. They weren't hitting you over the head with it. It was just, hey, here's this, enjoy it. That was it. It was subtle and it had a purpose. It wasn't just a hi, bye. So I enjoyed that. There were some things in this movie I really enjoyed. The effects are good. They brought back some of the old animatronics and made them look really good. Paul Rudd, in all honesty, doesn't do that much in this movie, and I was really hoping that maybe he would kind of be the one who leads the kids, because from the trailers, you know, it seems like he has all this knowledge on the Ghostbusters, so I figured maybe he'd be the one who starts things up again. But he doesn't really have that much to do in this movie, honestly. It's kind of like with Bryan Cranston in Godzilla. But, you know, he does well with what he's given. Him and the kid who plays Phoebe have good chemistry together. There's this guy named Podcast in the movie, and I didn't find him annoying at all. I thought he was unique. I thought he was cool. Phoebe's the best character in the whole entire movie, but like the main thing with this movie is about, you know, the mom. The mom wants nothing to do with her father. And, you know, like, you have this really important moment between her and her daughter about, why didn't you tell me who my grandfather was? Why didn't you tell me anything about him? Why do you hate science so much? It's kind of like that Ben 10 story in Alien Force when his parents wanted nothing to do with Ben's grandfather's history with the aliens and stuff like that. Like, she wanted nothing to do with it, and you can understand why. It's a good character. It's a good character arc, but I wish that they had maybe like stretched it along a little bit more, or not stretched it along, but revealed it a little bit more instead of stretching it out till near the end. Now, I would say my negatives with this movie are they do throw in a lot of the old music, but I kind of just feel like it is forced. I don't feel like it kind of clicks. Just like one or two times that I felt like the music clicked. And I really wish that they hadn't have tried to force it. Like, it just doesn't feel natural. It really feels like they kind of forced it in with the music. Another thing I will say that I didn't like about the movie, but also at the same time, they flipped it. So like they make you think, oh, it's just going to be like another, like, you know, natural, you know, true sequel or a true remake or whatever, where they bring back the same villains. And, you know, like, they just hash it out like how they do in the original, but it turns the tide. Yes, we do get a old villain, but they do it in a completely different way. The ending is great. The ending is very touching, and it is something I give this movie an A-. I give it an A- because I wish that they had done something different with the villain and make it something different, maybe something from the cartoon or something else along those lines. But from what they gave us, this movie does feel like a true sequel to maybe the first Ghostbusters or even Ghostbusters 2. They don't ever mention anything about Ghostbusters 2, only the first one. But overall, this movie gets an A-. It is so fun. It is a great, like I said, it is a great homage to Harold Ramis. There is a very touching moment at the end, like where you see like the original Ghostbusters, and they see the spirit of Harold Ramis. And Winston just says, "I miss you, my friend." And you know that they couldn't have him talk, but it was a very heartfelt moment, and I almost cried because I was like, it is such a shame that he is dead and not and he's not able to be here with us in this movie. But it is a very touching moment, a very touching story, and I'm so glad that this movie came out now and they had a lot more time to work on it and it wasn't rushed. Guys, I strongly recommend that you go watch Ghostbusters Afterlife. You will not be disappointed. Don't forget to elbow that like button and spear that subscribe button for the 1, 2, 3. Guys, have a happy holidays, and I'll see you next time. I ain't afraid of no ghost. Bye, guys.